Okay, this is how to make a Google form for anecdotal records. What you're going to do is from your Google homepage that you have signed into already, you're going to go up to the top and click Drive. On Drive, you're going to create and then come down to Form. You can title your form whatever you want, but let's just type in anecdotal records. And then we're going to skip this part. Question title for sample question 1. What you're going to do here is find a way to do the date. What I would do is just go ahead and put month. And then your question type will be choose from a list. And then on this part, you're just going to start your list of months. So January. And then hit enter to go to the next line. All the way down till you get all the months that you want to cover. All right, and then when you're done with this question, you just scroll down. I want to make this a required question so that I make sure that I input the date every time. So I'm going to check that box by clicking it, and then go ahead and hit done. To go to the next question, you just double click, hover over the box and double click it. When you double click it, it pops up again, and you're going to do a question title for sample question 2. For this one, let's just do the actual date. So we did the month, let's do the date. And on this one, let's also do choose from a list. And once again, just go down in number 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 31. So this could be your days, and just hit enter to go to the next line. And also make this a required question just so you're covered with the date that an incident or a record that happened. Go ahead and hit done. Now we only have 2 spaces, we don't have any other options. What you do at that point is you go over to the right of your screen, and at the right you're going to click this double box right here to duplicate the question. When you duplicate the question, it gives you exactly what you just put in, but we're going to change it up. So now let's do student name. For this one, I like to do either choose from a list or check boxes. I'm going to choose check boxes at this point just because I might want to add other students. So and then all the ones that you don't need, if you go over to the right, you just X out. And even though there's 2 right here, I might need to add another, so I will just leave that there. When you're filling out the form, if you have an other, it will allow you to type in. And this is also a required question. We'll hit done. To add another question, we're going to go over to the right, and again, duplicate. And once we duplicate that, I want to list the behaviors. So when you're listing your behaviors, you need to think about all the behaviors that the students that misbehave actually do in class or around the school. So excessive talking, hitting, pushing, outbursts, leaving class, not following directions, arguing. Just think of everything that you could think of with your students. If you don't figure out which ones you have, you could always come back and fill them in later. And I also don't need this one right here, so I'm going ahead and X out of that. But I will leave the other just in case I need to add one that I forgot later. And also, this is a required question. The good thing about the check boxes is when you're filling this in, you could check as many boxes as you see fit. So we're going to be done with this one. And let's add one more. And when we add one more, so remember, go over to the right. You're going to click duplicate, and this will be our last one pretty much. And with this, some behaviors need a comment, some don't. So we'll do this last question, comments. And then with this, if you're keeping records, you need to make sure that you're not only telling what they're doing, but when they're doing it. So that's what you would write in the comments. After lunch, after recess, after prep, during class, during reading, just so we could keep track of what the students are actually doing. So in this one, I'm going to go down to paragraph text. With paragraph text, we're not going to make this a required question because it may not be something where we need to put a comment on. And then we'll hit done. After you hit done, right here at the bottom of your screen, it says you could view the published form here. So I'm going to click that just so you can see our finished product. The finished product shows us the month, and you choose whichever one you want. The date. You can choose the student. So if it's multiple students in an incident, you could do that, or you could just choose one. What behaviors did they have? And you do all the behaviors that come up. I don't necessarily need a comment, and I'm going to hit submit. And it shows that your response has been recorded. Now, after you do that, you can get all your information on a spreadsheet, and what it ends up looking like is, let me find it, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't hit save, that's why. There we go. And then you'll see that it has the timestamp of when you actually entered it, the month, the date, which student, and which behaviors. If you typed in comments, that will show up here as well. This is an easy way for those people that use technology in their classroom, either on a computer, iPad, or smartphone, where you could keep track of your students without having to write it, and you could keep everything all in one place. If you have any questions, feel free to email me about what your question is.